You started the carnivore diet and things didn't go as planned. So now what do?
Well, dear viewer, you are in the right place because when it comes to restarting the carnivore diet, we are the masters. Hey everybody, welcome back to Carnivore Quest. Larry here.
And I'm Cassie.
It's been 3 years since we started our YouTube channel to document our journey back to better health eating a carnivore diet. Today is February 15th and it's actually our 2-year carniversary.
Can you dig it?
Wait a second. You just said 3 years.
Yeah, I did. But those of you who have followed our journey from the beginning, you guys know things didn't go so well the first 12 months. We'd do well for a couple months, then we'd blow it. Get back on the carnivore diet, go good for 3 months, lose a ton of weight,
Rinse
and blow
and
it again. Yes, rinse and repeat. We ended up gaining 120 pounds while we were on YouTube.
You serious?
But on February 15th, 2022, we finally put our foot down and we said no sugar, no carbs, and no cheating. And so far we've lost 180 pounds and we've learned a ton along the way, especially how to restart the carnivore diet. So if you're out there and you've struggled to stick to it, maybe you've done carnivore for a month, 2 months, and then, like us, you fell off, ate some sugar and carbs and started spiraling out of control, and you're trying to get back on, and you're having a difficult time getting your footing, this video is for you.
And if you're new to carnivore, the suggestions we have in this video will help you out too.
Yeah, the information we're going to share with you today is basically from our experience. You guys know we're not doctors, we're not health coaches, but we've definitely started the carnivore diet a few times and we finally found out what worked for us. Hopefully it'll work for you too.
But before we get into it, we'd like to thank the sponsor of today's video,
Elements. Elements, a delicious electrolyte drink mix that has everything you need and nothing you don't. And they did the science for us. Each individual pack contains 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium.
And unlike other electrolytes in the market, Element has no sugar, no coloring, no gluten, no fillers, basically no BS.
One big mistake Cassie and I made when we started the carnivore diet was not getting enough electrolytes. And we definitely suffered from headaches and leg cramps, but not with Element because they taste so good. We just don't forget to take them. Element has a bunch of awesome flavors we enjoy and typically we use 1 packet a day. But it just so happens tomorrow we're starting a 3-day fast, so we will be using 2 packets a day of the raw and flavored.
As always, Element's offering our viewers a free sample pack with any order. That's 8 free single serving packets with any Element order.
We love this offer for you guys because it's a great way to try everything Element has to offer before your next order.
You can have Element delivered right to your home using our link below at drinkelement.com/carnivore quest.
This is a perfect way to get the quality electrolytes you need and support our channel at the same time. So head on down to drinklmnt.com/carnivore quest and get yours today.
Let's not forget to mention Element's amazing customer service.
5-star.
If for some reason you're not 100% satisfied, keep the product and receive a full refund.
Thanks again, Element, for sponsoring today's video.
So, you fell off the carnivore diet. Very first thing you need to do, forgive yourself. Too many people, they're just too hard on themselves. Take it easy and take pride in the fact that you're getting up and you're getting back in the fight.
Yeah, and that you tried to make a life change in the first place. The bunch of times we fell that first year on the carnivore diet, Cassie would take it really hard. She made this mistake and it's just in her nature. She would beat herself up to a pulp, and where it didn't affect me quite as bad as it did her. And if you're that kind of person that's really hard on yourself, take a step back, forgive yourself, not a big deal. It's time to get going. The next thing you should not do is punish yourself with a fast. A lot of people, after they're beating themselves up and feeling guilty, feel the need to punish themselves. The last thing you want to do is deprive your body of nutrition when you've been off the rails, you've been eating a bunch of garbage, the standard American crab diet. You're already starving your body of what it needs. So do not fast. We've made this mistake before. Actually, Cassie's talked me into it. It's all your fault. But don't start off with a fast. Oh, I blew it. I'm gonna fast for 4 days. Then I'll start strong. Don't do that. Cook up some hamburger patties, cook up steak, eat some chicken, get some good nutrition. Start off right.
Yeah, it can be hard enough to fast as it is when you're fat adapted, let alone fast when you're coming off standard American diet and your body's running on glucose. That fat adaptation makes fasting so much easier. The next thing that we recommend you do is get rid of all the sugar and carbs that are in your house.
For sure. This is a huge one, and it can be tough if you have family members in the house that are still eating the standard American diet. We literally had our son, little Larry, basically put his crackers and his chips and everything in his room. And we specified one drawer in the refrigerator for anything he wanted to keep. Every situation is different, but if you can, like if you live alone, definitely get everything out of the house. All your dry pastas, give them away. Anything starchy, sugar, carbs, just get rid of it. Donate it to your local food bank, whatever, because you don't need that temptation in the house. And for Cassie and I, this was not a forever thing. If you went into our refrigerator right now, you would see a lot of food that's not on the carnivore diet, that belongs to little Larry. But definitely the first 30 days to 60 days, we just didn't want to see that food.
The danger zone.
The danger zone. Right. Just much easier if you don't have, easy access to that stuff.
Yeah.
If you're having a craving, and you guys know what those are like, it's much easier just to go in the cabinet and grab something rather than drive to the store and have to buy it. So if you're able to, definitely eliminate it completely from your house. And if you're not, talk to your family members, explain the situation, work together, and maybe you guys can come up with a solution.
And this next one was an absolute game changer for me, and that's implementing a transition period.
Yeah, February 15th, 2 years ago, Cassie did not start with a strict carnivore diet. She started with ketovore, a heavy meat-based ketovore, but she would enjoy, a small serving of asparagus or maybe some green beans with her meal. And she did that for 57 days. And then we started our first BBBE challenge. And that's when the light bulbs really started going off. And she was able to stick to it, She actually made the 30 days, and I was super impressed, especially the fact that she did it. And I credit that transition period, with her success. Because prior to that, we would just dive into strict carnivore, and obviously that didn't go too well.
And here we are 2 years later.
180 pounds lighter and feeling great.
And we've kept it off.
And everybody's not built the same, because for me, I did not have to do what Cassie did. I didn't have to start out with ketovore. I was eating the carnivore diet, but I was consuming cheese every day when we very first started 3 years ago. But February 15th, 2 years ago.
You cut the cheese.
I cut the cheese. Oh, she's the one that said it. I didn't say it. Boom. I know we're going to get a few people to unsubscribe now. I'm going to put a little toot in there. Yeah, but I did. I cut out the cheese except for 1 day a week. I would enjoy maybe an ounce. And that worked for me. I did that for quite a while. And actually, our first couple runs on the carnivore diet, I lost 25 pounds in 60 days. But when we started our current run and I was only having that cheese once a week, I lost 50 pounds in 60 days. So doubled the results. And I've been able to stick to it. Part of your journey on the carnivore diet is learning about true hunger. And it took Cassie and I, a year, probably a year and a half before it really clicked. Actually, it was probably the first time we were successful on a 30-day BBBE challenge. That's the first time we really learned about, real hunger, and we could really learn when our hunger cues were kicking in. Some people, very few, can just, it's time to eat beef and salt only, and they can fire it up and have great results and stick to it. That is a minority. Trust us. We've talked to thousands of people over the course of the last 3 years, and that is the minority by far. Most people struggle with this. We do highly recommend that if you tried doing strict carnivore, you couldn't stick to it, dial it back a little bit. The ketovore diet is part of the proper human diet. The ketogenic diet is part of the proper human diet. So, just ease up on the reins, loosen your collar, and take it one day at a time. Because in the end, the carnivore diet is an elimination diet. We want to get down to meat, salt, and water. And, down the road, then you can start reintroducing things and see how they affect you.
And the next little bit of advice we have for you is don't eat out.
Yeah, this was huge for Cassie and I. Avoid restaurants. And our rule was 60 days. First 60 days, we did not go out to eat. We know that's not feasible for everybody. Some people have to go out to eat for work or, different situations you might have to. But we didn't. We stayed out of the restaurants. And because all the temptation, man, you walk in there, you're early on in your carnivore diet, we all know about those cravings.
Mm-hmm.
Not only are you looking at a menu full of delicious food, not nutritious, but delicious.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're looking now around and everybody's eating it too. So it's tough your first 30 to 60 days on a carnivore diet to go into a restaurant and say, yeah, I'll take a steak with salt. I mean, it was hard for us, right?
Right. And plus, you don't know what that restaurant is cooking in. Seed oils, different types of seasonings, lots of sugars. Believe me, I have worked in restaurants and I know they're not clean. It's very hard to find a clean steak. Heck, sometimes they even spray the flat top with cooking spray. What is in that stuff anyway?
Yeah. Now, the one caveat to this is, a fast food restaurant. You guys are out and about. I mean, Cassie and I have done this. We made videos about it. You stop at McDonald's, get some patties. That's a little different. We didn't do it very often. 99.9% of our consumption of food was at home. Mm-hmm. But, going through a drive-thru is a lot different than walking into a restaurant, looking at the menu, looking at everybody enjoying their food. It's, like night and day. You go through, you get some hamburger patties in a pinch, and you're all good.
Well, going out to a restaurant is a whole experience.
Right.
It's not just about the food.
Right. And ever since Cassie and I got married, 50,000 years ago, I've always teased her. She loves looking at a menu. Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember we go to a bowling alley and she'd be over in the corner just, looking over the menu.
It used to be one of my favorite pastimes.
Yeah, because, she loves food. So do I. Definitely avoid going out if you can. And
cook more from home.
Yeah, for sure. Our next thing we got for you actually ties in with this.
Yes.
You're going to do a lot of cooking, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So buy yourself a new toy. We've talked to a lot of people who have started the carnivore diet and really didn't know what they were in for as far as cooking, their food at home. Mm-hmm. A lot of people aren't used to that, or they get something out of a box and, throw it in the microwave and it's done. No, you're going to be preparing food at home more than you ever have in your life.
Yes.
One of the great things you could pick up if you don't have it is an air fryer. Of course, most people have them now, but some people don't. I'm telling you, that's the easiest way to cook your food. Pop a couple hamburger patties in there, hit the start button, go watch a Carnivore Quest video, come back, and your burgers are done.
Well, that's your favorite way to cook. My recommendation is get yourself a cast iron pan.
Yeah, and Cassie's got a ton of good recipes in a cast iron pan. And she's right. When we first started the carnivore diet and keto, I loved cooking in an air fryer. I don't do it as much anymore.
No.
Because, she's influenced me. Cooking in cast iron, there's nothing better, right? I mean, you got the grill too, but cast iron rocks.
Yeah, we cook probably 90 to 95% of our meals in cast iron. There's just something about it. And not only that, when you buy a new appliance or a new pan or something like that, it's also like a visual reminder that you bought this specifically for the carnivore diet, and it's going to help you out in that way too. Out of all the recommendations we have for you, I think this is the single most important one.
I thought that was the transitioning. I thought that was the most single important one.
Okay, it's a close second, or they're tied. Find some accountability.
For sure.
It is so incredibly important to find support from like-minded individuals like yourself.
Yeah, go on Instagram, go on Facebook. We have a group, Carnivore Quest Community, private Facebook group. Cassie has Carnivore Quest for Women. Mm-hmm. they're private, they're free. Thousands of people there, to encourage you and to help you. A lot of veterans out there probably be like, oh, come on, you guys always say that. Well, for new people, there's a whole community out there waiting and willing to help you. It's a really cool thing. And when we first got, into the carnivore space, the community was a lot smaller, but we were blown away by the kindness, the compassion, the understanding that we found online in the carnivore community. It was
Understanding, that is key, because family and friends in most cases won't understand.
Yeah, but there are a ton of like-minded people out there, like I said, who will be there for you every step of the way. We have people in our group who have fallen 10 times, we literally, or more, but they're still fighting. They're still trying. And that says something. If our community were a bunch of jerks, these folks who are really struggling wouldn't keep trying.
That's right.
Yeah. So find some accountability. It's huge. All right, we got one last suggestion for you, and this would apply to any addiction. Find a new hobby. Find something new to do instead of focusing on food. For us, it happened to be a YouTube channel. And how many carnivore diet channels have popped up since we started?
So many.
Yeah. And, there are so many people just documenting their journey, and you would be surprised, you guys. Back when we very first started, we'd have 10 views. But for some reason, those 10 views would get us through the next day. Just a couple comments of an encouraging word. Sometimes just hitting the record button, and not uploading the video. It's almost like writing in a video diary. It would keep you accountable. You'd feel better after you recorded the video. This, especially for me. I was being strong for Cassie, and our audience was being strong for me at the time. But definitely find something new. Start playing an instrument. This is advice for beating any addiction, like I said. When I got sober 9 years ago, one of my counselors suggested it, and guess what I took up? Video editing. I started that as a hobby, and now look what it's turned into. So find something new to do instead of shoving that garbage in your mouth, and you'll do all right.
Yeah, new hobbies and new traditions.
Well, we hope you guys got something from this video. We really appreciate you stopping by today. Veterans, if we missed anything, you have any good advice for the new folks or for people restarting the carnivore diet, throw it down in the comments. You know what to do. We've learned so much from our audience. It's unbelievable. We've learned more from our audience than we have any carnivore doctor out there. We've learned from the doctors too.
Yes.
But our audience rocks. You guys got the knowledge. Share it down in the comments if we forgot something. We know you guys got our back. The new people definitely check out the comments and they'll get something from you guys.
Always read the comments.
Yeah. And hit the like button before you bail.
Yeah.
And if you're new to our channel, it'd be really cool if you subscribe. We'll see you in the next one, guys. Remember, no sugar, no carbs.
No cheating.
Love y'all.